Lewis Hamilton will start on pole position ahead of Max Verstappen potentially for the Qatar GP after an utterly dominant qualifying performance underlying his form heading in the championship's crucial final races. In F1's first ever shootout at Doha's Lostelee circuit, hosting round 20 of 22 this year, Hamilton was in control throughout and topped Q1 and Q2 before stretching an even bigger gap to his rivals in the closing stages. He was 4.5 tenths up on Verstappen, and it's the largest margin in the dry so far this season. The last lap was beautiful. It was a really sweet lap, said Hamilton. In a fresh twist, after qualifying, Max Verstappen was handed a steward's summons for allegedly not respecting double wave yellows at the end of qualifying, and he wasn't the only driver. Valtteri Bottas and Carlos Sainz have also been summoned, but this time just for single wave yellows. Verstappen will report at 10 AM UK time. The race, when Hamilton and Verstappen split by 14 points, could line up on the front row for the 7th time this season, starts in Q2. Valtteri Bottas appeared to be the man to beat heading into Q3, but into qualifying in general really was a surprising 2 tenths further back in third. However, his Sunday would probably be made a lot easier with Sergio Perez knocked out in Q2 in 11th for Red Bull. So yeah, that definitely helped Mercedes in the World Constructors' Championship battle. Gasly qualified 4th for AlphaTauri despite a dramatic final lap puncture after his front wing broke over the curves, with the Frenchman inadvertently potentially getting drivers in trouble after causing a yellow flag as he grounded to Hull. Fortunately, his lap time was just good enough to see the second row start ahead of an informed Fernando Alonso. He equalised his best quality of the season, and Lando Norris in the McLaren. Norris will race from 6th ahead of Carlos Sainz, with the close McLaren v Ferrari battle continuing. Both teams had a driver knocked out in Q2. Daniel Ricciardo was 14th, Leclerc was 13th, but he did have a chassis crack, which is quite annoying. But amid protests and accusations in a title fight that has escalated off the track more than on it over the last week, Hamilton and Mercedes stood there talking in style with a qualifying thrashing that has painted a clearer picture of the late season pecking order. In this form, the world champions, even with Hamilton's drivers' championship deficit, will certainly take some toppling over the final 3 races. They destroyed Red Bull, admitted Jenson Button. In truth, Mercedes have been significantly faster ever since leaving Mexico 2 weeks ago. The Brazil form, which saw Hamilton overtake 24 cars in 2 days, continued in Qatar. Red Bull did appear closer for much of qualifying than they had in practice. Verstappen set the pace at the start of Q1, although by the end of Q3 the deficit will raise alarm. Another headache for Sunday is that Verstappen now on pole, potentially on the dirty right side of the grid, as there are no support races at F1's newest circuit. The left side of the grid, the racing line, becomes all the more important. I think I probably would have opted for 1 and 3, said Toto Wolff, but Verstappen certainly proved this year he prioritised with his back against the wall, so it'd be daft to make predictions. And before I go, let me run you through the final classification for qualifying, obviously without the penalties. Hamilton in first, he's really upped his game when he needed to, and obviously Mercedes have as well, but yeah, Hamilton was just on a different level today. Verstappen in second, probably the best he could have hoped for. Did well to get in front of Bottas, but really not ideal with the penalty, potentially starting down as low as 7th, which isn't great at all. Valtteri Bottas in third as well with the penalty, but he could start above Max, so yeah, maybe a good thing for him. But then you got Gasly in 4th, Fernando Alonso in 5th, potentially a top 3, which could be very tasty. Both did great jobs. Lando Norris as well to get a bit ahead of the Ferrari. I think Carlos Sainz will be disappointed. He probably thought he could have got a bit higher. Yuki Tsunoda, great to see him up there in 8th. Maybe Esteban Ocon will be disappointed, having seen what Alonso did. And then you've got Vettel in 10th, great job from him to get the Aston Martin to Q3, but Perez in 11th, I mean, I thought he's picking up, but yeah, in crucial time of the season, Red Bull really didn't need this. And then you've got Stroll in 12th, good job from him to get into 12th above the Ferrari and McLaren, even with Leclerc did having that chassis fracture, which was a shame for him. But then Ricciardo in 14th, really disappointing weekend for him so far, yeah, just really bad. And then George Russell at 15th, decent job to get out of Q1 I imagine, and then Raikkonen, Latifi, Giovinazzi, Giovinazzi will be disappointed, really poor performance from him. Mazepin was quite a way off as well, but kind of expected with the lack of track action he's had. But anyway guys, that's the video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, let me know your thoughts, comments down below, and follow me on Twitter. Thanks for watching for daily F1 news, and subscribe to me on the screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.